Hey everybody, welcome to 10 Minutes to Roulette Fortune. In this video series, I'm going to show you how you can get 84% coverage on a board, on a roulette board, and the most easiest way that you can get the coverage on the board as simple as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2. Everything you've learned in other roulette videos and stuff, for now, let's go ahead and forget that and let's focus on how to get the most coverage with the least amount of risk. Okay, and this is pretty much what we've covered right here. If you want to start off at $50, and a lot of times I challenge myself when I go to casinos to do this, is you can start off with $5 chips. It's going to cost you $40. And you set it up the same way. Instead of 30, it's going to be 15 and a 5. But in this situation, it really doesn't cover that. So let me tell you a little bit about distractions within roulette. This whole board right here takes up the most amount of real estate. Those things that take up the most amount of real estate in a casino are going to make that casino the most money. Now in roulette, let's think about it. You see somebody putting 3 chips there and 3 chips here and 4 chips over here and 3 over there, and then there wasn't any over here. They put 2 over there and 3 over here. If you were to plot those numbers that are covered on a roulette wheel, it's going to look something like this. You're going to have this space covered, empty space, this space covered, and on and on and on and on. So the odds of that ball falling into that spot are, yes, 1 out of 36 odds. Or 1 out of 38 odds, I'm sorry. So it's pretty much taking a huge gamble that one ball is going to land in one of those holes. So they've done this once, and they've done it twice, and they've done it 3 times, and they haven't won. And then what happens? They finally win. They jump up and down. They're all excited. They got a rush of dopamine, of happiness in their brain. And what does it do? Oh, I just won. I'm going to do it again. Again, they're not taking into consideration the number of spaces on the board. Again, number, space, number, and so on and so forth. So they're taking a huge gamble, and that to me is not the wise way of doing things, because in the end, this way, you have 84% of the board covered, 27, 30, 31, 34, 00 are not covered. Okay, so again, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but you might have one number covered, and then all these, or one number empty, and then all these numbers are covered. And then you might have another empty space, and then all these other numbers are covered, and then you have 1 space. So you kind of get the idea of the coverage. Now again, I understand that every roll has 1 out of 38 odds of hitting. But I hope you can see by this setup how it really diminishes that. Now let me get back to this setup. For those that don't understand or are learning just roulette the first time, this space right here covers all these numbers. This space right here covers all these numbers. This space right here, or this chip right here, covers 4 numbers, and then 4 numbers. And the payout comes out to be a 1-unit win. So in this situation, we're working with a $10 unit. For each spin, you're going to win $10. Okay. Again, if you were working at the $5 level with $50, or you just want to challenge yourself at 50 to work up, as I do frequently, into the thousands of dollars, it's going to be 5-unit win. So that's pretty much the basis of how this works. I haven't gone into much other detail about anything else on the roulette board. The only thing you need to learn or know is this: any bets here cover those numbers. Any bets here cover those numbers. A bet here and a bet here covers those numbers. Now later on in other videos, I'm going to go on to the progressive way of doing things. And actually, it's quite simple. In a quick demonstration or explanation, it's these numbers are normally the losing ones, right? Let's say the 33 and 36 come in, and you've waited for an empty spin after that, and it's not a back-to-back. In that situation, instead of here and here, you can put your chip here and here, because you reduce the odds of these numbers or these sets coming in again. So that's pretty much a basic demonstration of it. And having said that, let's say, for example, you are at the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 for a 3, 2, 2. Okay? And you want to spin it 2 times in a row. And then you want to wait until a losing number. And then you go 2 more spins in a row and you wait for 2 losing numbers. Yeah, in the very beginning it's going to be a grind. You're going to be sitting there for a while. You're going to be building up a bankroll slowly. And the whole idea behind this is to take small wins, block it up, and move on to the next level. And then later on videos you can learn about money management and how to go ahead and do that, how I carry a safe and how I separate my winnings from my previous bankroll, and I go on and on and on. But just remember, in this betting structure, the key is you spin it twice, wait for a losing number, spin it twice, wait for a losing number. And what's nice about that is you can be distracted. For example, your buddies might come up behind you and say, "Whoa, I just won $250 doing this," and I give them a high five, and I sit back down and I'm thinking, where the hell was I? So I can either have 2 choices. You can go for 1 more spin and have that comfort level of knowing your odds are still in your favor, or you can start over waiting for a losing number, which is what I would recommend. Now, earlier I said something that I wanted to get back on. I forgot. Anyway, with that in mind, you start off and you go your 2, and then you shut it down. And then you build up that smaller bankroll until you have about $125. And then actually, with that money, you'd be sitting down at the $10 level, because roughly it costs $50 to be at this level. If you're 30, that's 60, 70, 80. I take that back. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the $5 level. I didn't. So you're $80 at this bet. You would have built up your bankroll. So now you can comfortably play at this level. And if you do get a loss, you're still up ahead a little bit and you haven't dipped in too much into your original $100. And that's the key. The way I do this in the very beginning is I have five $100 bills. I'm sitting down at a console and I'm putting 100 in there and I'm waiting till I get up 25, 30 bucks, I cash out. Then I take the other $100, put it in, and then at the end, I might have $140. I take those tickets, I cash it in, I put my original bankroll of $500 into my pocket, and now I'm ready to start at the $10 level. My original bankroll is locked up, and you're using house money to go ahead and take care of this process. So it's really relatively simple and easy. Honestly, a 5-year-old could do it. And as far as explaining or learning anything about roulette, it's not needed. So following this is going to bring you the achievement you need to reach your goal at the end of the day. And by a day and a half, roughly, if you're following this with discipline and you're following the instructions I had just explained, and you're waiting patiently for that losing number to come in, all right, you can potentially be up, instead of the $25, you now are up in that day and a half roughly about $600, $700 if you've done it right, okay? And you're going to learn later on how to recover from a loss. And I'll just explain this right now. If you have a loss within those 2 spins, all you have to do is double that amount, spin it 2 times, wait for your losing number, then do it again at 2 times, and then you're back to where you started previously. That shouldn't concern you, once again, because you have 84% of the numbers hitting. Okay? And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, how you work this very simple strategy. Again, you don't need to know anything about roulette. You know, if you're thinking about it again, this bet here covers those numbers. This bet here covers all of those numbers. And this bet here and this bet here, cover 8 of those numbers. Okay? So again, you're only dealing with 6 losing numbers. So anyway, having said that, I hope you'll follow this, understand it. It's really quite simple. Just know that all of these losing numbers are evenly spaced around a roulette wheel to where you're going to have huge clumps of numbers that are going to be winning numbers, and then a losing number, and then another huge clump. So that should give you the confidence of knowing that, again, the expectations and probability of those numbers coming in have been diminished, but then again, there is a 1 in 38 odds that one of your losing numbers will come in. The one thing you don't want to do is be putting chips down here randomly like you see people do. Because again, it's going to be plotted, you know, one bet number here, and then down here you have another bet number, and then so you're pretty much banking on the fact that that ball is going to land in this one little hole. So anyway, this is just a introductory little video on how this 3-3-2 method works, and it'll give you the foundation to understand what I'm doing in later videos. So the next video I would like for you to watch in this series is going to be turning $50 into $220. That's pretty much a good place to start with. It's explained pretty well. I think I made some mistakes in there, and that's what's good, is there's safety that's built in here in case I make a mistake, because I do have a bad memory. You know, sometimes I forget quite frequently what I'm talking about or where I am. And in closing, in this video, I want you to learn this and gamble responsibly. I want you to get the discipline. So once you've won, walk away. Don't be pushing this too much, because all it's going to take is 4 or 5 rolls down after you've deviated from your 2 spin to get a losing number, and then you're going to blame this strategy when, in ultimate honesty and directness, it was you that caused that to happen. So I don't want this to be you. So I'd like for you to just follow this and be confident that it's going to work. Okay, watch the video on money management. Watch the video on the dangers of online gaming, and understand that simulators might be putting cookies on your computer that are going to throw you strange numbers. And if you've ever played a simulator, you've seen how it goes. You know, 15 black numbers, and then you have 10 red numbers. So the odds of that happening are crazy. It's not going to happen. So test this on several different simulators, but more importantly, go get yourself a wheel. Go to Walmart or wherever and buy a cheap little set. Costs you maybe $25-30 for a real good one. And practice this in real life to build up the confidence within yourself. So you're relying on what I would call true, in a sense, random numbers, then truly 110% trusting a simulator. As far as accuracy goes, I'll give them about 99% accuracy in being random. But again, when you see a pattern of a 27, a 30, or a 0 happening 3 times in a row, no. The odds of that happening are crazy. You just might as well buy a lottery ticket. Why? Is because they're spaced here, and spaced over there, and spaced over here. And you got, you know what I'm trying to say, for that ball to land in those spots that frequently just doesn't happen. So understand that, and grab your wheel and your felt and do it in real time. That's the only way to test any strategy before you even put a cent, before you even put a penny of your money on anybody's strategy. I'd hope you go ahead and do just that. Now think about this. I'm very confident in doing this. I do this very frequently. I've done this in Las Vegas and Reno and Atlantic City. I travel around and I do this. I'm confident enough in doing this that I don't have to sell any strategy. My thought behind people that sell strategy is they just want to make money on the strategy when it's truly not that sound. And on roulette, keep in mind, you have 84% of the board covered. I don't know of any other strategy out there that has that amount of coverage. So anyway, once again, in confidence, test it out. I'm doing this to share this information with you because I think it'd be cool if all of us went around and just broke Vegas, broke Atlantic City. And when you get into learning the different tiers of betting, instead of $10 units, you're now playing with $25 units. You build it up to a $600 bankroll, and you're putting now $50 units down there, and you still have enough that you've saved up in case you've lost. You still have $150, $200 left over of house money that you can again sit down and start off at your $10 level or your $15 level or whatever level you want to start with. But just know you're doing that with house money. So it should not be scared money. Then again, I consider my gambling a business. I love going into a casino, taking it for $600 at the $50 level, walking out the door, going to another casino, and doing it all over again. And I wish the same thing for you in all these series. And I'm just not trying to blow smoke up your behind here. I don't do that. I'm very blunt and direct. If I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it. So having said that, I just want you to build up that confidence. Take it upon yourself to go give it a shot and have some fun doing it and make some money. And anyway, having said that, I hope you'll watch all the other videos in this series. And it'll really give you a better idea on a quicker level of exactly how I do it. A little bit about me is sometimes, again, I get scattered. I forget a lot of times. And you'll see that throughout the videos. You'll see in some of the things I say, I will say one thing but mean something else. But it's very simple if you follow it along exactly what I'm trying to say. But I practice and do these videos late at night. And my brain isn't 100% there. And the reason why I do that is because I'm conditioning myself to try to stay as focused as possible. Because when I'm in these cities, I'm with buddies. We might have been drinking the night before. I do not drink when I gamble. And I hope you would not do the same. But I'm tired and I make mistakes. But the safety mechanisms that are built in by only spinning it 2 times before you wait for a losing number is going to make it easier for you to understand that, oh, I just went an extra spin. I shouldn't have done that. You know what? That's fine. Now you know you can go ahead and close it down, wait for your losing number, and start all over again. Anyway, this pretty much will conclude this very introductory little segment on how I work my 3-3-2 strategy. I hope you'll watch it again if you have any questions. It's pretty basic. And then follow this up with my other video, which is how to turn $50 into $220. And then watch through my other videos and follow along and, enjoy the little mistakes I've made and learn how to recover from a loss. And that's how it'll help you out. So anyway, that in mind, you guys have a great day, a better tomorrow, and please remember to like and subscribe. I really don't care about making money on YouTube. I mean, if it happens, great. But more importantly, I'd like for you to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get an idea of the new videos I post up. I like doing series to where I'm turning $50 into $1,000. And every time I get up to a certain level, I'll shut it off and start at the next tier, and then the next tier, and then the next tier. So you can follow along to where you're making $600 in a casino and up. And you're hitting casino, 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 because a lot of times each casino has 3 wheels in the casino. So if you if you learn this, you can go ahead and achieve the same thing, and that's what I hope for you. Anyway, once again, you guys have a great day and a better tomorrow.